I mean, it's not like they have like NASA or anything like that. They just
Right.
know it, you know, through oral traditions. And then the 20th century caught up to them and said, "Oh yeah, there is a star out there like that."
Well, that's the same way the Sumerians knew how many planets there were before we even found them.
Right? Yeah.
Welcome to the Mystic Podcast, episode 9.
Number 9.
Number 9 with my little brother and my little brother from another mother, JC, little brother Tommy Nine Toes, and me, Michelle. But everybody knows who I am.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Yeah, let's talk about it. I dusted off Nana Prep and got her going again. New YouTube channel and everything.
Why did? Well, didn't this channel used to be that channel?
Yes, in fact, I've got a ton of videos I've got to download off of this channel and put on that
Oh,
channel.
you're just gonna swap them over?
Yeah, just gonna swap them over. No biggie. Time. All I got is time.
Tom's got distracted. That's all Tom's got.
What are we talking about today, Tom?
We are going to talk about the Dogon tribe in West Africa, or actually Northern Africa. I don't really know exactly. It's
What did it say? It said here. I think it said West Africa.
Is it West Africa?
Hang on here.
Let's see here.
Yeah, West Africa. Mali, region of Mali in West Africa. They're known for their rich cultural traditions, including elaborate mask dances, wooden sculptures, and a complex cosmology. Passed down through oral tradition, their spiritual beliefs center on Amma, the creator god, and Nommo, the amphibious ancestral spirits who play a center role in the mythology. That's where they get all the reptilian, the amphibious.
I bet you they probably look like salamanders or something, you know?
Yeah, the amphibious people is who gave them all their information on all the stars. You know, I think it's been made pretty clear at this point that there is species of beings that resemble reptiles, amphibians. You know, I think that's pretty clear. We hear this across different cultures.
To me, it makes sense since the dinosaurs are here so much longer than us that one of them could have evolved and eventually became. But I kind of feel like bipedal humanoid is probably the default thing that most races would, regardless of what planet they're on or anything. I think that that's probably the most useful form, and most things would default to some type of humanoid through evolution.
Mm-hmm.
So I would think with as long as the dinosaurs were here before we were, that there was an opportunity for that to happen with them.
Yeah.
Reptilian species. And they had what, a billion years or something? I mean, they could have left and come back once in a while, or I don't know. There's a lot of things that could have happened, I guess. But
Tommy, do you know where are the Nommos from?
Well, so the from what I'm understanding is that they come from like the Sirius star system.
Yeah,
the dog star.
Right.
Okay.
Well,
So
okay. Now the thing about that is the Hopi say basically that's where the Anunnaki came from, and they evolved from a canine race, which if you call it the dog star, it kind of makes a little bit of sense like that.
But the from what I've gathered, the information I have attained, basically, I mean, basically they had a lot of knowledge of the Sirius star systems that modern science, modern astrology didn't get. They had, like in the ancient times, that people didn't figure it out until the 20s. And they knew about Sirius A, and then they through, I guess, from seeing the the Dogons and everything, figured out there was actually a Sirius B as well. That's where they figured out Sirius B, and the Dogons talk about a third star there but they haven't. It hasn't been proven yet. They have their names for these stars. So, like for Sirius A, it's named Siggy Tolo. Let me find my notes here. Siggy Tolo. And then for the Sirius B, it's Po Tolo, and the third one is Emma Tolo.
Hmm.
And now they're saying that they mentioned the third star, and it's supposed to be. It's described as the female twin of Sirius A,
Hmm.
and it's the home of the Nommo, their celestial teachers. So that is, I mean, it's something to ponder, and I guess there's a ceremony that they have every 50 years. They have the Siggy ceremony.
Yeah, every
Where,
60 years, actually.
yeah, 50 or every 60, it says here.
60
Which,
years during the
it's the orbit of Sirius B.
Sagai ceremony is what they call it. And it aligns with Sirius B's orbital cycle.
Which I find interesting because here's the thing, and maybe I'm just reaching for reaching for the stars. But here's the thing: the what the Anunnaki gave the Sumerians, they had the sexagesimal system, which was base 60 system.
Mm-hmm.
And here's a star, that they're monitoring every 60 years. To me, it's like it seems like there might be a connection. I don't know for sure.
Now, Sirius, those are star systems, not a planet. Or
Right.
is Sirius a planet?
Those are like suns, they're like, I think
Okay, so then there's
Sirius
going to
is
be
a white dwarf.
systems around them.
Yeah.
So it could
Sirius,
be that the Nomos, the Anunnaki, and all these other people, they could be from the same system.
now I don't know if is the Sirius in the Pleiades cluster. Let me ask real quick.
Another thing I was thinking, they think they're amphibious people. If I recall correctly, the Sumerians thought that the Anunnaki arrived and they landed in the water, and they came out of the water. And so if they were going in and out of the water like that, the primitives might have thought they were amphibious, but they really weren't.
What do you got going on over there, Jace?
Xbox. Xbox. Sorry. Here.
How do you spell Pleiades? Is it Plaedis?
IDES, I think.
Okay, so I guess the Sirius star system is not astronomically part of the Pleiades.
Okay.
I guess they're really far apart in space.
See, the Palladians, they're not amphibious. The Palladians are like, aren't they like the Nordics?
I think so. I think that's where the
say
Nordics come from.
Yeah.
But the Sirius is Alpha Canis Majoris. And
yeah,
it's
that
part of the constellation Canis Major.
The Palladians look like freaking elves.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, he is fucking. He fucking looked at me, Vernon.
He is like he's on our podcast. He's that loud.
I'm supposed to be muted, but it's not muted.
Uh-uh.
Is it not muted now?
Not muted.
All right.
You.
Hold on. Let me say something to him. Here. Can you hear that? Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
What is going on? I bet it's using a microphone on the webcam instead of my microphone.
Probably.
Let me look.
Probably. So let's see. Nomos. I'm gonna look. Let's look. Nomos. And here's the other thing. it's just like you see it in Greek architecture, you see it in Egyptian things, you see it. These people drew pictures of these things. They made sculptures of these things. Obviously, something existed.
Oh yeah, I tell you
Uh,
what though. I mean, have you what's that movie Stargate with Kurt
uh,
Russell? You ever
mm,
watch that movie? It was
mm.
like in the '90s. I'm not sure. Yeah, it was like early '90s, I think. Basically, it's what spawned the TV show Stargate.
Oh, okay.
Basically,
I didn't know that
uh,
was based off a movie.
the whole uh, the whole thing was, I guess, it was on the premise of that the archaeologist in Egypt had found a Stargate, and they were trying to figure out how it worked. And then David Spader comes in
Oh,
there, and
David Spade.
it's actually Spader, but he comes in there and he figures out how to activate the gate, and then they go through there, and it's like a gateway to another planet,
Yeah, it's like a
and
world thing.
it's being it's ran by these Egyptian gods.
Right, right,
It's
right.
you know, so I mean, like if you ever seen the show, it talks about when they first arrived on Earth and
Yeah,
everything like that, and they got some of the people there, and they're like educating them and all kinds of stuff.
right. I mean, you got cultures over centuries globally that talk about people that come to teach them how to farm, people that come to teach them how to do this, people come to teach them how to do that. And it's
You know,
always different. It's always different people. And the reason I bring this up, because sometimes it's the Pleiadians, sometimes it's the Anunnaki, sometimes it's the Nomos, and the list goes on. But over and over recently, in particular, you hear words like Galactic Federation. You hear words like, words like that. And it's like, is that what this is? And that's why it's different people, because it's a federation of people.
right?
And it's like, okay, you go here, you go here, you go here. Teach them what you can. Try not to die.
Hell, we even talked about that sometime at one time on the show.
Did we?
JC talked about it. It was one of the oh, it was basically talking about the draconians.
Yeah, that's what I was telling you about, like what the Hopi believe, right?
Well,
Right.
it's just,
Yeah.
Yeah, because
but
like
but also there was the thing that you had like you sent it to me. It talked about the draconians coming in there, and it talked about, I think we're talking about Anunnaki and how the Anunnaki got
the Anunnaki
control.
found us first, and or found our planet first, and stayed here and did their stuff. And then when they went back to their home planet, the a race from Orion came out here and occupied the planet. And apparently there's some agreement that whoever occupies the planet, the others are supposed to stay away.
Oh, I remember you saying something about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So apparently they claimed this planet, so the other ones can't come back until they.
But here's the thing: the Nordics have been here for centuries.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wasn't there.
Yeah. I mean, they've been here for centuries. Reports of them. I don't know. I wasn't there either.
Yeah, no, it's hard to say.
But that's the only thing that's wrong with that whole scenario. There's been other people here reportedly for ages.
Well,
apparently the trick is, and what it seems they might be trying to do is, if we realize that that's going on, like, we can claim the planet since we were here first, but we have to
even though we were devised.
We have to make that claim. And since most people are like, well, this is stupid, we're not making a claim.
Oh, yeah, that's why they keep us in the matrix.
Yeah, so the other worms will come by and say, hey, this is going on, and then nobody believes them, and they go, they can't stay, they visit and leave real quick. Probably, I don't know. I mean, apparently there's a lot of doubt whether any of this stuff is even real.
Yeah.
There's a lot of doubt on whether anything is real.
Yeah, I was joking.
We don't know what's real and what ain't real.
Yeah.
That's why I don't foo-foo stuff. I
think
hear
it's all just interesting to think about. I don't know how much
it's plausible. That's the way I go. I put it in a pile of plausible, not plausible.
Yeah.
Don't buy it. Plausible. I have no idea which one of these plausible things is going to end up being the truth. And maybe it's part of all of it.
I just like looking at these old stories and seeing how much of them say the same thing and how many of them line up with each other, because that makes you think, just like with religion, like when the religions all say kind of the same thing, it makes you think there's a little bit behind some of it.
That's the part that's the truth, right?
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. But then it gets all mucked up. I don't know. It doesn't seem to be ending, though, the craziness. It's like, I mean, what really? Why is it a secret?
Because if you don't know and they know, then they have control over you. It's all about control. So they don't want to. If they know something, they don't want to say anything. I've seen it at jobs that I've done. I had a guy I worked with when I was working for Ericsson, monitoring Sprint's network.
Right.
And the thing is, this one guy, he had a lot of information concerning some of the, break fix stuff that we were doing to the towers. I'm like, I said, you ought to share that with everybody. Cause stuff that I had, I always shared with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, that helps us all. No, won't share it.
Why? What was the reason?
The reasoning is if he shares it, then he's no longer important and he can get let go.
Nobody's important. Not one of us.
I know.
Especially to a job.
That's
especially to a job. There's nobody. That's what so many people don't understand. At a job, nobody's important.
Nobody's important.
Let anybody go and retrain the next guy, and it's not a big deal.
Right.
So many people are like, "Oh, they need me." It's like, no, they don't need you.
No.
A lot of people that would take that job.
Yeah, you're replaced. No problem. I mean,
as soon as you die, there will be it's like if you die while you're working and you die, your job, there'll be a posting for your job, like on Indeed or wherever.
Probably within 3 days. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe 5 if they really liked you.
Right.
Yeah. That's the truth. That's the truth. But people think that's what they have to have.
I posted a thing on Facebook saying I've come to the reality that I'm going to work until I die, and I'll probably have to use the vacation day for my funeral.
You're not lying.
Which is sad.
Well, yeah, it's sad.
It's very sad.
I that's why I refused to partake any longer.
Yeah.
I can work hard. I can keep myself fed.
That's why I play the lottery.
I don't play the lottery, but I keep
one day I'm going to
saying we need to play the lottery, but they went up to $5.
On this manifestation.
You got to know. You got to know you did play it. Ask AI for the numbers. Okay.
No, they won't give it to you. I've tried.
What do you mean?
AI will not give you the numbers for lottery.
They'll give you numbers to pick.
They'll suggest numbers.
Yes.
But they're not going to
give you. No, but you're. Yeah. Well, yeah. Like, what the hell are you talking about?
Tom, the AI won't give you the winning number.
Well, no, it's not going to give you the winning numbers, but it's going to give you the highest probabilities.
AI is not going to give you a piece of key lime pie either, Tommy.
No, seriously though, it's like I found that there's so many ways to make money. So many. But here's the problem. Oh, now we're getting off topic though. They think they've got you convinced that you've got to make house payments. They've got you convinced that you've got to make car payments. They've got you convinced that you've got to live a certain way. You've got to have certain things. You've got to pay for this and that. And it's all a fucking scam. None of it leads to your happiness.
If I don't make my house payment, I'll be out on the streets. If I don't, luckily I don't have a car.
But here, okay, devil's advocate. This is not you, but
right.
Okay. Do you have to live in that house?
Yeah. This is my house.
What I'm saying is, when you went to buy a house, could you bought a cheaper house, one that maybe you pay for or half pay for or can pay off earlier?
It would have to be in the school district, so I don't move
See?
Grayson.
See, you've got you.
And
When
there's
you
other
when you
people I
take
have
those
to contend with.
limitations away, you can buy a fixer upper for 20 grand in towns like ours.
Right.
Yours, okay. Put 20 or 30 into it. It's paid off. You're one notch. Now, it might be smaller. It might be older. But it's paid for.
That's not much of a might be. It will be smaller.
Oh, no, you're right. You never know, though.
It will be smaller.
We've seen some pretty big freaking houses go for like 18, 20,000.
Huh.
And all they needed was a freaking roof.
Yeah, that's about 10,000 is all the roof is.
Well, yeah, depending if 25 if it needs completely redone.
Yeah.
Like mine. That's what mine's going to cost, 25. But you see what I'm saying? It's because you know what I'm saying. Yeah. Yeah. We make choices based on what we think we need. Because they've convinced us we need all these things. I bet the Dogons didn't need that stuff.
The Dogons probably already live in mud huts anyway.
That they built and didn't cost them a dime.
Well, yeah.
I mean, I look at these people on YouTube because I watch YouTube. I don't watch TV. Out there living off grid. When I was younger, I wanted to do that. Now could I do that? Well, here's the thing. If I had started doing that then and then created a place over decades, okay, I was in my 20s doing this, I could set myself up to where I could live that way at this age because I'm not going to jump out and live off the land now.
Right.
Okay. But if I'd have started out that way, I would have built my property, built my house, built all these things up. It would be no problem. I would have all those things implemented.
I'm just trying to survive. And that's fine.
And working yourself to death.
Well, I guess that's what's going to have to do to survive.
I know. Everybody, you and like 1 billion other people.
Yeah. But the Dogons. So, I mean, I think that there is something to be said that they had information about the Sirius star system. And I think there's something to be said because I know I've read something somewhere. Like I said this before, I don't know. I don't know where I read it, but I know the book. What's his name? Hold on here.
Robert Temple.
Yeah, Robert Temple and the Sirius system, or the Sirius mystery. I know I've read. I could have sworn I've read it, but because of the problems I have, my comprehension, I can't really remember. I just remember they were talking about things being held up, guarded by amphibious creatures. But I almost wonder if they don't have like a ties to the Sphinx and the information down there below the paw. But I mean, I could be.
I think there's information. I think that exists, but I think it's different. I think it's another group of people.
Yeah.
I don't think it was the Nommos. I think different races came to different people.
Yeah.
Well, like if you look at some of the depictions in South America and some of the ones in Sumeria, it looks like it's probably the same people because they had like the bird heads and they're carrying the little basket and they had this. I think they even had the same watch looking thing on their wrist.
Right.
I tell you what, the Nelson Atkins Art Gallery or Art Museum there in Kansas City, they've got that statue. You always see the person with the bird, like the hawk head, and he's got the thing around the wrist the like the watch, and he's got the handbag. It's impressive. I was always seeing it over there. I'm like, well, I've seen this before, but like to see it in person, it's like, holy crap. I mean, it's a big freaking statue.
Yeah, and the fact that we've ignored these things forever.
Yeah.
No one thinks that's crazy.
Well, I mean,
I mean,
it makes you wonder
Well,
because
the thing about the guy with the handbag, is most times, I think there's some when he's not like this, but a lot of times when he's depicted, he's got the handbag, and he's got like a seed in his other hand, and he's usually trying to put it into like a double helix, like an arch. There's usually like a double helix, and like a palm tree in the middle, and he's on one side looking like he's trying to put a seed into the double helix. Which tells me he's trying to seed a DNA pattern.
right.
I don't know. That's just one way to look at it. Probably there's probably other interpretations.
No, I mean, I would look at it. I mean, that only a double helix. How many things come in that?
Yeah,
Right.
not a lot.
No. Yeah.
But I think it's even that way in South America. I'm not real sure about that, but it seems like it was the same way.
to talk about the double helix, it's like, it makes you think about the caduceus. That Hermes, the ancient Greek god Hermes, ran around with a caduceus, which was two snakes
Well, that's
intertwined that looked like a DNA.
That was what they used to represent Enki in a lot of the Sumerian stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, like that. It morphed a little bit over the years, but it's pretty much the same thing Enki used that the Medical Association uses now.
So check this out. Here are all the cultures, or at least the main cultures, that have similar stories, okay, along the same lines. The Aboriginals in Australia, ancient Egyptians, which we knew that, Mayans, Hindus, Greeks, Mesopotamians, Navajo and the Hopi, and the Zulu of South Africa. All of these cultures have mythos regarding sky people of different types. The Mayans, there was the Jaguar constellation. Aboriginals had the emu in the sky. Let's see. They mapped dark spaces in the Milky Way to form the shape of an emu. Ancient Egyptians, they had the Sirius and the celestial Nile. Mayans had the Jaguar constellation. Hindus had the cosmic turtle. I've seen that before. The turtle with like Earth on its back and it. Yeah. Greek mythology had the Pleiades and the Orions. Mesopotamians had the bulls of heaven. They're the Taurus constellation. Epic of Gilgamesh comes from that. The Navajo and the Hopi talk about the star people, the Kachinas.
Right.
And the Zulu talk about sky gods that come in great vessels of fire.
It really gets me that so many people won't associate the religious thing about heaven and coming from the heavens and living in the sky and all that with this. Why it's absolutely probably the same thing.
Yeah, it absolutely is the same thing.
Yeah, because like if you saw a ship in the sky and you were some type of a hut dweller or hunter gatherer, and you saw a ship in the sky and they came down and taught you something, you think that you said just seen God floating around in the clouds.
Right. Listen, many people have taken a religion and I the only word that comes to mind is bastardized, but that's probably not the appropriate word. Have changed it. It probably is. I mean, okay, the Wicca religion. Now, when I say Wicca or Wiccans, you guys probably automatically think witch.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I think it's between
Wiccas,
that and like the Vikings and Odinism.
Well, what it is Gerald Gardner took the traditional practices, okay, which was animism, okay, and then made new things. made rules, changed the story, twisted things. The Christians did the same thing. Ostre became Easter. Yule became Christmas. Okay? You can be a Wiccan and not be a witch. You can be a witch and not be a Wiccan.
Yeah, I don't think
religion.
I don't think it's the same thing as like witch or
It's a religion, but that's what people think.
Because I think it's more like along the lines of like the Druids were for the Celtics and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know for sure, but that's what it looks like to me.
In a broad scale, absolutely. Absolutely. And the Christians did the same thing. The Christians took more of paganism, the traditional paganism, which stems from ancient Germanic practices, okay, and just twisted it to make their own thing. Disconnected it from the source. Because these people back in the day only worked with the land, worked with the elements, worked with, nature. Yeah. These religions remove it from that.
That's how they promoted their Christianity, was by making.
And it wasn't just the Christians. Yeah, it was.
Well, but I mean, they're saying they said, hey, they made comparisons, and basically, excuse me.
Wonder what religion the Dogons. Let's see. What?
I'm just gonna guess it's Dogonism.
Hang on, my computer's.
I'm telling you, they worship interstellar construction people, and because there was a notice about the Earth to be demolished for an interplanetary freeway.
Mm-hmm. So they believe in this creator God. So they believe in a source, okay, that's omnipotent, omniscient, and omnipresent. A lot like Christians believe in God, okay? Everything is God. He's, okay? They believe that's what created the universe. The Amma is considered genderless, embodying both masculine and feminine, and is the source of all life and order. So they still pretty much practice the old ways.
Yeah.
Because the first thing religion does is take the feminine out of everything. Not just the Christians. Not just the Christian. Plethora. First thing that happens, feminine gets kicked out. They're the cause of all the problems.
That's because y'all are crazy.
Yeah, well, you know what? You can't keep up. No, that's on you, boo.
That's because of that Apple incident is what it is.
Which is, nothing but myth. The Nommo, they also believe, they practice, they believe in ancestral spirits. They believe in these Nommo, who are primordial amphibious beings, but they believe that the Nommo were created by Amma. So they're God created Nommo.
Well, and the thing is, they talk about the Sirius, which would be the hypothetical Sirius C, Emayatolo, that because it's the feminine twin of Sirius A. Mm-hmm. So I mean, that's like Father, Son, Holy Spirit. I find that there's a comparison there.
Yeah.
With the the Holy Trinity, if I may.
Well,
and it says, and JC said this before about the Holy Spirit's actually, isn't it supposed to be? I'm drawing a blank.
It was originally called Sophia, and it was like the mother figure of the Trinity.
Right, and it's like, because if the Nommo come from Emayatolo, maybe Sirius C is actually a planet. Sirius A and B is a star system. Sirius A is probably what brought in the planets to make their solar system. Sirius B is something that's there. We just don't know how it all works, but it's something that they have used as a way to measure time. And, you know,
Well, I tell you what, their religion is so strong that neither Islam nor Christianity has been able to
oh yeah,
overtake it. Yeah.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah. That is pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
It says the traditional Dogon religion remains vibrant, especially in remote areas, which makes sense.
Well, you know, and the thing is in Mali there, I mean, back in the ancient times, Timbuktu was a major, that was like a crossroads, you know,
Yeah.
of, you know, trading with the East, which would have been Egypt, would have been, you know, Alexandria, would have been, you know, Israel, Judea,
Yeah. Yeah.
in that area. And then, you know, and where Mali is, if I remember right, Mali being over there in West Africa, uh, I mean, who's to say they didn't have people going across like the Straits of Gibraltar into like the Iberian Peninsula, you know? Because you have Carthage up there. I mean, Carthage was a power during that time, and that was North Africa. You know, that was in the Tunisia area. I'm not sure about. I think it's Tunisia. Um, but I mean, I'm sure they had, you know, connections to people in the Iberian Peninsula. And I mean, because like Timbuktu was like a major crossroads. I remember that was something, I remember learning about that world history in high school. But
I asked where the Dogons, where did they say that the Nommo went? And it says there was a big hootie tootie.
Yeah, the big fight that left
There
us
was
with
a-
the moon, right?
No, well, it doesn't say that. There became a big imbalance. Okay, and the imbalance was created by Amma. Okay, no, the Nommo were the first living beings created by Amma, the Dogon creator god. They are described as amphibious. Blah 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 blah. After their creation, the Nommo multiplied into 4 pairs of twins. One twin rebelled, disrupting cosmic order. To restore the balance, Amma sacrificed one of the Nommo, dismembered its body and scattered the parts across the universe. The act is deeply symbolic. The Nommo's body became the source of sacred power, and shrines were erected wherever a piece of Nommo fell. The Dogons say that the universe had drunk of his body, meaning the Nommo's essence was absorbed into all life, making them eternally present in the cosmos. Then the Nommo returned to the Sirius star system, where they originated after completing their mission on Earth.
so there was a fight.
Always.
There's
Isn't
always
that
some kind of-
interesting? Isn't that
Always some
interesting?
kind of drama.
Conflict, and it's always over power.
Right. Because you have that with the Anunnaki.
You have
know?
it with the list
Inky and
about
Enlil.
yeah.
Inky and Enlil, man, they're just always at each other. You know, brothers. And the thing is Enlil had a more of a higher, had a higher stance under Anu because he was actually the child of Anu's first wife, whereas Inky was a kind of a bastard kid. You know, his mom was not a wife, but it was still his son. So Inky, you know, so he was a little bit of rebellious to Enlil because Enlil held a higher rank. You know.
Well, yeah, the Dogon, one of the Nommo twins, defies the cosmic order, prompting Amma to sacrifice the Nommo. This act of dismemberment seeds the cosmos. Babylonians talk about Marduk slaying Tiamat.
Yep.
And the primordial dragon. Norse, the giant Ymir, is killed by Odin and his brothers. His body becomes the world, his flesh the earth. Greek, You got Kronos overthrowing Uranus, and later Zeus overthrows Kronos. each reshapes the cosmos each time. The Hindu talk about Shiva destroying and recreating the universe in cycles, often following battles between gods and demons. And in Genesis, the world begins in formless void and darkness. God imposes order through division, light from dark, land from sea.
You know what?
Crazy.
And you can also draw a conclusion with the story of Abraham and his sons Ishmael and Isaac.
Oh, I bet you could find this story in 1,000 different traditions and mythos.
So something had to have gone down, and the people saw it and knew what had gone down, and they wrote about it. I don't.
So you think all stories stem from one thing, and that maybe it wasn't all of these things?
Not always. I think some of the stuff comes from one thing, but not all of them come from one thing. I think that, a lot of times they see, like, they'll, a group of people. I mean, if it's a global thing,
here's something interesting. Conflict isn't just destruction. It's creative tension.
Right.
Conflict births time, space, matter, and meaning. It's the first breath of duality: light, dark, male, female, order, chaos, spirit, matter. And in many traditions, the goal is to reintegrate these opposites. So when things get out of balance, this happens, this creative tension, and it puts things back in balance.
So you get Darth Vader showing up, and he takes care of all the Jedi.
Yeah.
I'm baiting JC on this one.
You were meant to bring balance, not destroy it.
But that is different. Conflict is catalyst. That's an interesting take.
You know what? You forge with fire.
Yeah.
Seriously. You have to actually make, when they forge a sword, or when they get the ore, they have to separate the ore from the rock, and then they have to keep it hot and make it malleable to form weapons and stuff.
Right.
It's like it's a forge. It makes you wonder. It makes you really think about stuff pretty hardcore.
I already have thought about stuff hardcore.
Yeah,
this just adds. I mean, it just is another thing that says the same thing that all these other things say.
I just wish that the archaeologists, the anthropologists, science, the sciences would just come together and just say, hey, this is, we're noticing some things here, like in historians, I should say, we're noticing some similarities. And I wish they would discuss it, and just discuss it. It's not like they need to change anything. They just need to discuss it, because I feel like if they discuss it, then they're going to say, maybe we should change some things, about how history actually went down.
Here's the thing.
And they won't do it.
You've gotten because it's ran by power and government.
Right. Yeah, they won't do it. I'm sure they won't, but it never hurts to ask.
And see, that is, I think the moment we started dividing ourselves. Okay, the moment we started, separating ourselves from each other by country, by city, by whatever. That is when it was the beginning of an unsustainable system.
Well, that's why the Tower of Babel is like a good metaphor for pretty much society right now.
You are right.
None of us are even speaking the same language in this country anymore, and it's falling apart. and it really is, and economically and socially, and it's like you're on opposite
divides
sides of
us.
things that there's no way to reconcile because they're dug in the heels, and nobody's going to change. It's not going to change, and it's going to eventually fall apart.
Yeah, and I think we're seeing that. I think
Yeah,
that's what we're
there's
seeing.
not much you can do about it. The only thing that they should focus on is maybe trying to save it economically, but societally, there's always going to be these problems now because people have gone so far one way or the other that they're just not going to come back. They're just not. They're out there, and if they get other people through conversation to agree with them, then that's going to stick around.
We talked about this though quite a while back. Could have even been season 1, but we talked about how it takes generations to change things and to forget things, learn things, forget things. And it's like, I don't care who you are. You have to see the spiritual awakening that's happening, especially in the younger people. How more spiritually aware they are, how more aware of there's other things out there. Okay. I think that's a sign of where we're going. Hopefully, I think the idea is that we go that way because we talked about that with the root races as well.
Yep.
And these things happen over generations. It's not like next year everything's going to be different. It happens over thousands of years.
Well, I think our problem right now is, in our country at least, is our newest generation is like half the size of what it ought to be. Maybe even 1/3 of the size of what it ought to be.
They're half the size, but they are so done with it.
Yeah, that's, I mean, that's bad for our country. They don't want to participate, and there's not very many of them. It's like,
no, they're waiting for all the dumb people to die.
Well, that's
because you can't fight it. You can't fight it.
I know, but then like Gen Z is going to be run around by the nose by millennials who are not the best at decision making.
Well, no, we'll leave that remaining to be seen because I don't think you should blanket that.
Well, it's just because there's more of them. So like voting and all of that, they're going to have more of the jobs. They're going to have more of the influence because there's more of them. And Gen Z and millennials aren't having kids either. So Gen Alpha is probably going to be smaller than Gen Z.
Probably. That's not a bad thing.
And that's just going to be a collapse.
And that's what needs to happen. That's what that's exactly right. Yeah. That's what we're hoping that's why. That's what we hope happens. This has to collapse. We cannot build a new system with the old system still running. It's not going to ever happen. Ever.
No. I mean, they could, but they would never agree to do it. I mean, the biggest thing would be to just not just reform, but to wipe out like legislative and judiciary and like crime and punishment right now and just start over with really basic things that everybody understands you can do and not do. Like you can't hurt each other on purpose. That goes from breaking people's bones to killing people. You can't steal property. You can't destroy other people's property. Mm-hmm. And then other things.
But the reason that won't work right now is there's too many people.
Yeah. Well, I mean, everything else, and I told Tom this before, I think everything other than property and personal injury can be handled with fines. Because, I mean, how important are they? Like across the street, of course. I mean, that's fine anyway, but you get in a little fight with somebody, you get a bloody nose or whatever. Instead of getting a year in jail, you just pay their medical bills. I mean, it shouldn't be that hard. It shouldn't be everybody gets locked up, everybody gets thrown away, everybody gets their lives ruined, everybody loses their family, you lose your house, you lose your job.
No, there's many systems that are in place that are just, but they need to go away. But the reason that they got in place is because there's so many people. And it was the quickest and easiest way to control.
Well, the more bad guys, the
and money.
Yeah, the more bad guys they make out of the citizens, the more
Yeah.
money they make off of the citizens.
Yeah.
So that's why there's always more laws. I mean, nobody knows all. I think I was talking about this with you guys before, but I mean, nobody knows all of the laws anymore. The Congress don't know all the laws, and they make them. Like nobody, you can't. And that's the fall of a lot of societies, was that they made too many laws and it fell apart. Because at some point, everybody's gonna be like, you know what, screw it, I'm just gonna do what I want.
You know, we got cultures like the Dogons that exist into today, still practicing the same things they've always practiced.
And they're
So,
they're small in stature. They're like, there's not as many of them. It's kind of remote, almost.
let's see.
I really think that society would be fine if the rules were don't hurt each other, don't mess with each other's stuff.
Oh my god!
Because that's the things that make people the most angry.
I didn't think he could
Yeah,
do it.
he's getting in a fight with somebody on Xbox. Sorry. Yeah, at least it wasn't another F-bomb. But I think that those are the most important things that they should safeguard. The rest of the stuff is like, financial crimes. Okay, you pay it back. Justice should be making the victim whole, and then that's the end of it. Not now you got to be punished. It's like okay, we kind of screwed this guy over, fix it, and we'll call it a day.
Yeah. Well, and it talks about Dogons today. It is a concern that their heritage is getting, erased.
It's always been there's always been the push to wipe out all those smaller religions because I mean, look,
everything has to be annexed. Everything has to be.
Well, they want to control all the knowledge, and that's why they were wiping out the Gnostics and everybody else. Is they wanted to wipe them out because they didn't agree or they knew something that they didn't want them to know.
Mm-hmm.
So like this is what you're going to believe, and we're going to force you to believe it. And if we can't force you, we're going to force your kids.
Yeah, and we'll get
Sounds like
your kids when they're little. We'll get your kids when they're little, and then they won't know any different.
Sounds like the Temple of Syrinx from Russia's 2112 Overture. It's a good song.
So what I'm getting from this Dogon story is just another tale of how we got here today.
Yeah.
Just another tale of how we got, because even today they fight the threat of their traditions being erased, displacement, poverty, loss of traditional knowledge, migration, displacement.
Yeah, well,
the powers come in and take over.
Yeah, well, the thing about all these different stories from the different places, I think, is because it's just like their regional viewpoint of what happened. Like, of course, the people in South America didn't experience it the same way the people in Mesopotamia did, but it would be similar.
Yeah.
So there's going to be those differences of what they actually saw versus what these people actually saw.
Yeah.
And then you base a religion around that. They're going to differ in different ways. They differ differently.
Right. But then they're the same. They're the same in important ways.
It's like a root system. That's grown up and branched out.
But again, they are being infiltrated. They are being infiltrated today. No, you can't believe that. Why? Why can't they believe that? Why do they have to be Christianized? Why does Islam have to go in there? Why does anybody have to go in there? Why can't they just be left alone?
Well,
why does anybody have to?
Well, the Quran tells Islam not to leave anybody alone. They're supposed, and Christianity does it, but in a more mild way. Like
depends on the branch.
Yeah, like Christianity, you're supposed to go out and witness. You're not supposed to make people. But Islam,
but some
force them to submit.
Some branches do want you to convert.
Yeah,
and we know back in the 16th, 17th century, they were going in and burning barns to convert you.
Oh,
what's a few barns for control? They
were killing people. Okay, So
You
it's
gotta
like you
two
can
eggs to
get
make an
real
omelet,
extreme.
right?
And it's not wasn't just them, it was lots of other,
Was it the what no one suspects, the Inquisition?
Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition.
right. So that makes me feel like, to me, understanding that brings validity to what they believed in.
Yeah.
The fact that they weren't the only ones. Plethora of people believed the same thing. And it wasn't like they had newspapers and phones and internet and like could compare what they believed with what other people believed. Later on, we traveled, but later on. So all these different people believed the same concept. Okay. And then certain people, and I don't even know how to label them, religious people, I don't know if it was religions or governments. And, maybe it was a mixture of both. Okay. At one time, religion was very much part of government.
Yeah, it used to be the same thing. So.
Yeah. So is it a matter of we're going to erase what you believe so that we can take over with our beliefs? And in doing that, you're erasing the truth and replacing it with your own.
I mean, if you could craft the truth and people believe it, then that puts you in control of everybody.
Right.
So that's the whole point, is to control the narrative.
And how is it that no one sees this?
I can show you real quick. They're too busy looking at stupid shit.
Stupid shit.
They got their heads down. The phones are the ultimate.
Because they work you so hard. Tommy, our cousin Tracy, we used to talk about this all the time. We worked so hard during the day. We'd come home, and what did we do? Watch brain dead TV because we don't want to think about anything.
Right.
That's why they put entertainment, and they make it last for hours.
We don't want to think about anything.
Sleepy. You eat. You sit there and get sleepy and go to bed. Wake up and work for the machine.
Exactly. Why are we working so hard? Where?
Because of inflation.
Who decided that people have to work so hard? No one asks these obvious questions.
Rockefellers did it.
Yeah.
Literally, the Rockefellers.
No, in a lot of ways, you're absolutely right. But it's like
when they got all the banks, that the banking is what created all this.
No one just stops and says, why am I so unhappy? Why am I working so hard and not getting anywhere? Why am I working so hard and I still can't pay my bills?
You're not supposed to get anywhere. If you get somewhere, you could become like them, and then they'd have to fight with you for control. So you're not supposed to get anywhere, but you're not supposed to think about that. You're not supposed to notice that. You're supposed to go back to work.
Right.
Make stuff for them.
And how is it that people are so tamed that they don't think about it?
Because they got bills and
I
kids.
don't understand it.
Yep.
I don't understand it.
And they'll come and take it all away if you don't do what they want.
Not if you run first.
Internet makes it so they can catch you anywhere now.
I mean, there's, nothing stopping you from taking your kids to a piece of land and building on it and working on it. There's people that don't send their kids to school. There's people that live off the land. There's people that live in communes. There are people that live all kinds of different ways. Some ways I would and some I wouldn't. I mean, it's not for me to judge either way, but I'm saying you don't have to. You don't have to. Why would you choose to, is my question, I guess.
I think it's just our society. That's the way everybody fits in. And I don't know, it's like humans just follow each other around.
Yeah, lemurs. Not lemurs. What is it, lemons?
We are designed to work.
What are they
so,
called?
I mean, I don't agree with how much.
I think we're designed to work for ourselves.
Yeah.
Keep ourselves alive.
Yeah.
living.
I like the old idea of go out and find a place to build your
Living.
house. Yeah. I like the idea of you go out and you find a place to build your house, and then you have a little farm or garden or whatever, and you maybe make a little ranch, and you just live there, and you take care of yourself, and maybe help your neighbors out, maybe help your family out.
Yeah.
And
people do it all over. People do it today all over.
Well, the problem is some genius down the road is going to get the big idea of, hey, I can go steal that guy's chicken since one of mine died.
Well, they must be low on lead.
Just crappy people. There's no way to eliminate the crappy people.
No, there are.
I mean, there is a way, but you don't.
But hey,
and that makes
there
you
are
a
ways.
crappy person at some point.
That makes me not want to be a crappy person.
Yeah, that's true too.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. You know, it's like they've got us so twisted, man. I'm just saying it's crazy. And I think the more and more I see it, the more and more I can't believe so many people don't see it.
Well, and that's probably the reason why there's so many rules against doing that, like in the city. Like you could have a garden and some chickens and rabbits in your yard.
Oh yeah, you can't live in the city that way. The city
won't let you do that.
You got to have water. You got to be hooked up.
Yeah.
You got to. Yeah, that's why you don't live in the city.
Yeah.
That's why they want to make everything a city.
Yeah, they are trying to force everybody into the cities.
I know they are. There's a whole conspiracy behind that.
But it looks like New York might show everybody exactly why maybe you don't want to be in a city before too long, because it's just going to go bad. It's going to go bad. People
that's good. That's
there's already
situation.
tons of people leaving and businesses leaving, and then they're going to raise the taxes to make up for that, and people who are going to be stuck there are really going to be stuck there because they're going to have to foot the bill, and then he's going to try to make everything free, and he's going to raise the taxes, and it's just going to be a downward spiral. Unless
it's just another thing that isn't going to work. I don't know why. Yeah.
And hopefully this will serve as an example of why people need to stop trying to push those ideas. But
no, you need to be pushing the idea of self-sustainability. Put money in your pocket. Put money in other people's pockets. You have skills.
Yeah.
You have ways to make money. People are willing to pay you to do things that you can do. But no, we keep patting somebody else's pocket.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be.
I don't think he's going to get
law comes into play.
Well, I think that's another big concern New York should be worried about with that guy. But I don't think he's going to get very far with any of it.
I don't think he's going to get very far.
As soon as it starts to go bad, they're going to be like, all right, we've had enough of you, and it's not going to get really bad. It's just going to get ugly.
Whatever. Yeah. I'm not too worried about any of
that. I don't think he's going to get very far with all the free crap and the socialism, and so he's not going to be able to do any of the other stuff.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous. It's the whole thing, and all I can do is sit here and gripe about it, I guess. I do what I can to not play with be in the Matrix.
Far away from us.
I can't convince my kids to get out of the Matrix. Nikki's probably my closest person who isn't in the Matrix. Kat is plugged in hard. So is Meg. And Stevie, he really is not so much.
That has to do a lot with how old they are because of the society. They want to be social and want to be around. And
they're at that age where they are.
Yeah,
I mean, you're in your 40s. You're thick in it. You got kids you're raising. You got that old mindset of what stability is. And it's an old mindset. And it's a mindset to keep you plugged in. That's why I like these kids. This is why I watch YouTube. These freaking 19 to 22s are going and buying houses for like $10,000, $5,000. And they're going in and they are documenting the remodel. And in documenting the remodel, they grow their YouTube channel. Now they're making $10,000 a month and it's paying for the remodel.
How many kids do they have?
They're 19 to 22. That I'm talking about an age group, Tommy.
But
I'm not talking about you. You and me can't do that.
What I'm saying is they don't have any kids. They're
19 to 22.
They have themselves.
Okay, you're skipping the point. I'm not talking about people like you and me. I'm talking about people 19 to 22 that are single, don't have kids, That's what they're doing. And it's the smartest thing I've ever seen.
Well, yeah, they don't have. There's no. They don't have. They don't. They're not going to lose anything if it goes south.
Well, you're going to lose a big
I mean, they're
income,
going to
and
lose some
there's lots of
things, but
things
it's
you
not going
could
to be.
lose.
If I try to do something like that,
Well, no, you're
at my
60.
age,
No, you're unless you're wealthy, you're not going to do that.
right? But
There
if
are
I
there are
try to
wealthy
do something
people.
like that, if I try
I'm
to do
not
something like
saying
that, it's
that.
a bad deal. It's a bad deal.
Absolutely. Not once. I don't mean that.
Huh.
But the fact that this new generation, this is what they're doing, good. Because he's going to
Yeah.
own that freaking property. All these kids, they're going to own that property. They're going to get married. I followed some into their 30s now. They got married. They now have kids. They don't have a mortgage. You know, they
Yeah, like
homeschool their kids.
The guy that did Demolition Ranch did that, and did you see that giant property he got and he was rebuilding it? It was huge. It was abandoned, and he got it real cheap, and he just started doing the whole thing himself. And then he started doing like gun channel stuff, and I don't know how much money he got, but he got a lot of money.
Because you can make money without being plugged into the matrix. You can put money in your pocket, not somebody else's, even though technically you're putting money in YouTube's pocket. But you know what? That's okay. I'll put money in YouTube's pocket because YouTube isn't forcing me to do anything. I'm doing. If I work, I work. If I don't work, I don't work. It's not like I'm going to lose my job. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Smart.
But
That's smart. I wish the internet had come along earlier. I wish we had internet when we were that age. You know?
yeah,
And I think that is the signs. And really, I think there's several matrices. I think the matrices are shifting. This new matrix. And this new matrix is about everyone having their own power, everyone having their own individuality, making your own way.
well, it's like the age of Aquarius. You know,
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
talked about it. We're transitioning from Pisces to Aquarius. We're in that transition. So
I think so. Yeah.
you know,
I don't think the governments like it. I think that's why they come down on TikTok and come down on YouTube and come down on Meta.
oh
It's
yeah,
a
because they
big
don't have
freaking
control.
threat. It's a
They're
big
losing their
freaking
control.
threat.
I mean, if you look
Walmart.
at,
Yeah.
if you think about it, though, let's draw. I've drawn a comparison to this before, and I'll draw it again. It's like, and well, actually, this will be a little bit. It'll be the same comparison, but it'll be done a little differently. Pisces. The symbol of Pisces is two fish tied together by a rope. Now, what the two fishes represent, what the rope represents, obviously the rope is in control of the two fish.
Mm.
And what's the symbol of Aquarius? It's the water bearer. And he's pouring out the water. And, you know, they say when Aquarius comes in there, they're going, you know, it's going to be an awakening. It's like all the information is going to be known.
Said that Enki was a water bearer too.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That is
It all
very
fits
interesting.
into the root race theory.
Yeah. So maybe we're due for a visit or something. Maybe that's what that's.
I kind of think Gen X was the last generation, current modern generation, to have the old thinking.
Well, regardless of that, I'm pretty sure Gen X was the best generation.
Because even though Kat is 40, she's considered I don't know what she's considered. She might technically be a Gen Xer.
Hold on. She was born in 88,
ascendant.
right?
Uh-huh.
Let's find out. If I was born in 1988, oh, come on.
But I think the newer generations have a lot more influence. Because Kat's generation, I mean, she didn't get internet until she was like 8 or 10 or something like that.
Well, I think the issue is they'd probably be more like us, but they find us to be too offensive.
That's the truth. That's the truth.
I think they should just like also be more offensive and just join
What is
in.
it? What is it, Tom?
Millennial. She's a millennial.
Oh, she is a millennial. Okay.
Generation
Okay.
Y.
All right. Yeah. I don't know. I think there's hope. It gives me hope that eventually all this stupid crap's going to die out.
Well, it is going to. I mean, it's at least economically and societally, it's unavoidable at this point, as far as I can tell.
I agree.
Financially, it looks like it too. Maybe 15 years if we're lucky.
Yeah.
It's going to collapse. And the issue is, and more people need to be aware of it, is not letting these same people say, "I won't let me fix this, let me lead," because they screwed it up. Mm-hmm. And they're going to want to jump right back in with their brilliant ideas and make everybody be following them around.
It's interesting that the ones that are yelling the most are the oldest. I mean, we've got some old suckers.
Grandpa Simpsons
being major players. These people are freaking old. It's interesting.
I mean, like Nancy
they're fighting for their lives.
Yeah. Chuck Schumer and all them, they're way past their
expiration. Way past.
Their best by date was like several decades ago.
I think we're going to see a mass. Everybody's going to drop.
Somebody needs to open the refrigerator and say, "This has got to go. This has got to go."
Yeah, they're going to drop like flies.
Yeah. Oh, Pelosi all over it.
But then I won't list names because I don't want to get too into politics. But there's a lot of new people coming up that are.
There's a lot of scary.
That are
people.
young, yeah. That are young, and it's like, okay,
and
obviously somebody's still making them.
I'm just hoping that there's people around that say, no, we're not doing socialism, we're not doing communism,
and
we're not gonna have a land full of ridiculous rules either.
Yeah, we're gonna go back. We're gonna go back to basics. People are gonna run things.
They need something simple that everybody can just go, oh, well, like a kid would, like once they're old enough to talk, you could explain the rules. This is how we work. You don't do this. You don't do this. You don't do that. Everything. We need to go. Try to be nice about.
Go back to like cultures like the Dogons and cultures like all of these old cultures.
I don't want to make a big giant mask and dance around a fire very often.
I don't know.
Once in a while I do want to, but
kind of fun. I'm just saying.
I would do it.
I so do it. I have a mask and a robe, and I may or may not wear something under it.
Don't want to know about that. TMI.
Hey, Michelle, have you ever heard of this concept?
Let's talk about it. What?
Have you ever heard of the concept called oversharing? You're oversharing.
Vastly. They call that skyclap. That's an actual thing. When you go out and do ritual outside under the moon, naked, you're skyclap.
It's oversharing.
Hey, sometimes you go for a jog naked and they go, hey, there's a Sasquatch in my area. And
so what are we going to talk about next week, Tom? Do we know?
Naked jogging and being called a Sasquatch.
Yeah.
No, we're not going to talk about that. I don't know. JC, what do you want to talk about?
You already know what I want to talk about.
We're not going to talk about buttered sausage.
Well, why not? Hot topic. Hot topic.
We're not going to do it.
What's wrong with buttered sausage?
What's wrong with buttered sausage, Michelle?
Nothing. But we're not going to talk about it. I don't know. I guess we could just leave it up and we'll just see if any of our followers, any of our viewers want to give us a topic.
Who watches this suggest what we should talk about. And if
one of the 5 people,
we're going to just tell you it's terrible.
One of the 5 people that watch our show.
We have 500 followers.
But no one tells us what they want to hear. No one.
And if those 500 people could just get one person to follow us, we would have 1,000.
We would have 1,000.
And
That's
if
our
those
next goal.
1,000 could get
That's our
one
next
person
goal.
to follow, we'd
Right,
have 2,000.
We need to get some more updated topics, I think.
Yeah. I don't know what else is out there. We've talked about a lot of stuff.
Well,
I'm going to search.
Did you see how the comet, fake comet, comet came by?
Yeah.
And then it was rumored to have interacted with the sun somehow, and
It
then had
did.
those giant solar flares. Well, those are actually the biggest solar flares that the sun can have. And they did interact with the Atlas, and I don't know exactly how they interacted with it, but apparently they, like I was asking, like you do, the AI buddies, and they said it did interact with it, and then it changed color and came around and changed direction.
Yeah.
And now we're
getting, be here December 19th. That's the next day.
Now we're getting the aurora lights, which is basically a backwash from those things because they were on the other side of the sun when they erupted.
Yeah.
So now so they were huge. And if it's coming around this way, it could cause more of those, and they would affect us a lot stronger, and we could have a electrical wipeout.
Maybe that's what we need.
Yeah, because they were saying like if this time around, if it was a little bit stronger and lasted a little bit longer, it would have basically wiped out.
It turned and went that way. Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm hoping I grow like a third eye in my forehead.
You have a third eye already.
Probably grow one in the canyon, no man's land.
I don't know. I'm gonna see. I'll get us a topic. For next week.
Get us a topic, Michelle.
It's something that's something that's happening that we need to worry about now.
Buttered sausage.
Buttered sausages. All right. Say goodnight, Tommy.
Good night, Tommy.
Say goodnight, JC.